Steph Curry got in a verbal altercation with Kendrick Perkins in the third quarter last night after Steph stumbled into the Cavs bench and made contact with Perk. Multiple Warriors told ESPN that Perkins didn't move his knees and feet and felt it was a dangerous play that could have resulted in an injury. Steph was asked about it and said no comment. We're joined once again by Steven Jackson. Steven, should the Warriors be upset by this?
No, they weren't mad when they got the ultimate dirty player, Zaza, over there on their team, so they shouldn't be saying nothing. I know Perk. Perk has never been a dirty player. He's a physical guy that's really emotional about the game, that loves the game of basketball. I raised this guy, so I know how he thinks and how he feels. He's cut from the same cloth as me. He just want to get out there and help his team. He's not a dirty player. He does not stick his foot out. This is a 7-foot guy that's sitting on 280-pound guy that's sitting on a bench with 15 other guys, and the space is narrow. So if you look at the tape, he didn't move at all. Steph stepped on his foot. They shouldn't look at try to make it more than what it is. It wasn't nothing. But if they want to talk about somebody being dirty, he's on your team.
Where did you raise him? Where was?
I'm from Port Arthur, Texas. He's from Beaumont, which is like 5 minutes away. And we have the same high school coach, Andre Bute. He coached both of us, led both of us to state championships. We both went out of high school. So when he was in
out of high school straight to the NBA.
And when he was raised and playing in high school, I used to go work out with him and kind of mentor him because he lost his mom at a young age. So. But he's a great kid. He's just passionate about the game. He would never do nothing dirty like that.
I agree with everything you just said. If you look at Perk, he's sitting back. Now, granted, like you said, you got 15 guys. This big old guy right here, so he's just sitting there. Steph shoots the shot. He didn't move. Steph the one that backed up out of bounds. So what was he supposed to do? Dive out the way? Okay, man, here comes Steph. Let me dive out the way to make sure I don't touch him. After what Zaza Pacheep shot did.
Pacheep shot.
And what you got a rocket. Because you know Draymond was kicking people in the private and the head. And you want to call somebody else that's sitting on the bench who didn't move. You want to call him dirty. Come on. Now I get it. Look, guys on the bench in the street clothes, they yelling, they screaming. And sometimes when I was playing stacks in the NFL, sometimes you run out of bounds on the opposing team sideline. Sometimes they move out the way. Sometimes they grab you. Sometimes they hit you with a forearm shiver and knock you, yeah.
They do.
Perk ain't doing nothing but sitting there, Skip. What is he supposed to do? Steph shoot, let me go get me a drink so make sure he don't trip over me.
Let me move out.
Man, they need to stop playing. Golden State. Stop making these. It's not even like that. They make it seem like everybody out to get them. So that's why they have to resort to some of the things that they do. Because everybody's out to get them.
But the best thing they can do is just ask KD. KD played with him in OKC. KD showed up to a lot of things that Perk has in the hometown. So
that's true.
The perfect person to ask about him is your teammate, KD, and I guarantee you KD won't say he's a dirty guy.
By the way, it was just a year ago in the conference finals, to reiterate what you just said, that Zaza Pacheep shot just slid his size 36 sneaker or whatever it is.
Yeah,
it's like
under my main man.
Under Kawhi.
Yeah.
And my Spurs were only up, your Spurs were only up 23 at that point, mid-third quarter. It could have been upset city. It could have been very interesting if they stole game one and could have a free shot in game two. But we'll never know.
What did they say about that, Skip? What did the Warriors say about that? Did they say Zaza was dirty?
No, they said he was the MVP of the conference finals.
Basically.
Wasn't he? He was. He was their MVP. So I will just say this, trying to be objective about it. It wasn't like Perk tried to get out of the way, but I don't know what the protocol is. I guess you don't need to get out of the way. He sat back, but it looked like he kind of thrust his left knee, like just kept it out there as far as he could keep it within bounds, so to speak.
Do you see them tight suits they wearing? Them Tom Brown suits. Let Perk try to move fast, and he'll split it all the way up to the top of his neck. That suit, you see how small them suits are, Skip? Exactly. So you know Perk ain't moving. Perk, to get up, Perk will have to get up, pull his pants, this pants leg down, that pants leg down, because you know how tight them suits are. Perk wasn't going nowhere.
Is that team dress code? Do they get fined if they dress different from everybody else?
That's Tom Brown. We're a team. We're a unity thing. Give me one of them. I sure wear it.
Tom Ford.
Tell me Tom Brown. Tom Brown.
Oh, Tom Brown.
Tom Brown. Those are Tom Brown suits. The high water, they real tight.
Yeah, I ain't with
Well,
it.
LeBron.
Let me ask you a question. If I bought you a $75 suit, you ain't gonna wear it?
Not if it ain't comfortable.
See, you got to be on the team. You're a team player, right?
Right.
Okay, then.
So make mine to fit me.
No. Popovich made a lot of stuff uncomfortable.
Yeah, but it wasn't our uniform.
Yeah, well, if it's our uniform to come in there and act accordingly. You know how Pop is. Skip, I'm going to give Skip one of the old suits right here.
So, Steven Jackson, what's the protocol? If your feet are planted sort of near the out. I don't know, it's maybe a foot away from the out of bounds line. And here comes Steph stumbling down your bench. Should you move your feet out of the way, your knees out of the way? Should you give him a break if he's lost his balance?
Me personally, if I'm sitting there and I know he can possibly trip over my knees or I could possibly get in his way, either I'm going to try to grab him or I'm going to move.
Okay.
But where he landed actually a space over from Perk, and he stepped back.
Instead of kept right.
Yeah, into Perk's space. But definitely you don't want to hurt nobody. So if you can grab him or move out the way, you should. Definitely you should.
You know what's been going on? The man on the bench who is not suited up for either one of these games, in fact, he only suited up for one playoff game, Game 7 at Boston, because Kevin Love was in concussion protocol. So he hasn't even been playing, but he has been talking the most talk from the bench, and he has really been getting under their skin.
He get it honestly.
Yeah, right?
He get it honestly.
But he's been scoring with this trash talk.
We seen Draymond yesterday.
That's what he's doing the cheerleading stuff to him, right? Well, there you go. So maybe this is a backlash about all that he's been saying as opposed to what he did.
But still, Steph didn't come close to tripping. All he did was just the back of his foot. Steph did, well, at no point in time did Steph Curry think he was going to fall, or anybody watching that video thinks Steph Curry is going to fall down. It just happened. He looked back. Perk had been talking all game long. He had been talking the game before. He see all the footage of Perkins standing up talking to everybody, and he was just like, man, move out the way. You're like, dude, I'm just sitting on the sideline. What you want me to do? Where am I supposed to go in these little folding chairs? It's like being on a plane. Like, dude, I mean, what you want me to do?
Can't do nothing. But the same stage Steph do, the dancing, that's the equivalent of talking trash.
Yeah.
So if you can shimmy and doing all that, you got to be prepared for somebody to talk trash to.
By the way,
part of the game.
LeBron wore shorts with his suit last night, but then Draymond came in the same outfit.
Draymond.
They had the same thing on yesterday, shorts and the suit jacket.
Yeah.
Man,
I
can't do it, Skip. I can't do it.
You going to come out like that tomorrow?
No. I think my grandma might have dressed me like that when I was 4 or 5. I had
That's true.
I
had a bow tie and a suit and some shorts on. But ever since then,
Why don't we have any pictures of that?
no, hell no. There better not be no pictures of
I
it.
still dress like Tupac off Juice. I ain't changing.
You ain't changing?
I'm stuck in the 90s.
Well, how you gonna get a coaching job?
I can wear suits.
No, you can't be have no tattoo or talking about thug life in California on the side of your neck. Yeah, you have to work. You have to wear turtleneck. You have to wear turtleneck.
Hey, love me or leave me alone.
You want to be a coach or what?
Hey, I can't erase these tattoos.
You got to cover that thing up.
The tattoos
You don't
don't
need
make
to.
me.
Hey, let me ask you a question. They say, hey, Stack, we want you the job, but we need you to cut them wings up. We got your head coaching job in the NBA.
They can't come up with this collar.
Well, you ain't trying to be no coach, Stack.
Yeah, I guess I'm not. There.
Wait, you don't think that looks sharp?
Yeah, I love it.
You don't think that looks coachable, presentable?
Yeah, but we need to cover them tattoos up. Because I was thinking about buying a team, Stack, and I'm going to need you to cover that up now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if all my players going to have tattoos, at least we have something in common.
No. I'm old school. No tattoos.
Jen, I think you should try the
Kane got tattoos.
Who?
The Kane.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, tattoos it is. Tattoos for everybody. Tattoos for everybody. You got a chosen one? Who get that chosen one tattoo?
I've got one on my back.
You ain't got no tattoo. I'm about to get me a tattoo.
Get chosen one.
Georgia Heat. That's what I'm going to have.
Georgia
Oh, yeah.
Heat?
You going to wait till 50 to start getting them?
Now I better wait now. 60.
I mean,
I told you I wanted to get a tattoo. The only really one I want to get a tattoo. My mom said, no, I want to get my hair pierced. My mom said, when you get 18, you can get how you want it in. And then she said, boy, when you get grown. But I'm thinking about getting my grandmother's name.
Yeah.
I found a thing with her signature on it and was thinking about getting it.
That would work.
It hurt now.
Huh?
You can't just go from one to none. Once you get one, you're addicted. You're going to keep getting tattoos.
I could see you with a neck tattoo, Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon.
Nah, I mean, my sister got a couple of tattoos. Me and my brother, I'm the last of it. No facial hair, no earrings, no tattoos, low hair. Same haircut since 1972, Stack.
You don't need
That part, look at that.
We got Steven, thanks for joining us. Should the Cavs be upset with the refs? We'll discuss that next.